Hey everyone. Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. Today will be another massive moment to share real wisdom, real time wisdom. I mean, things you learn, I can immediately. So I want to celebrate you. You're joining me from anywhere around the world. I want to celebrate you and also watching the replay of this live broadcast. Also want to celebrate you. It's good to have you here. Okay, so let's share link so people can join. Let's share the link. Okay, you have access. You have access. Okay, great. So you can take my phone and use it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hello everyone. So my name is Ola Jeremiah. Yeah, meeting me for the first time. Yes, that's my name. I'm the founder and CEO of Wheatville Properties Limited and also REITS.ng. Yes, what we do is really about real estate, to provide real estate solutions to help people achieve their dreams of a perfect life. We believe strongly that people have got dreams. Not you have dreams, others also have dreams. So we want to help people achieve this dream, but of course by providing real estate solutions to help them achieve their dreams. That is what we do at Woodview Properties Limited. And one of our core values has been refinement. So refinement is actually to educate people. So we keep educating people and for as many times as possible. So we keep educating them till they get the real time wisdom or knowledge we want them to get. That is why I want to even mind the classes, the training, the free session we hold. And if you have also been following us online, we would also discover that I've found out a lot of info on the internet. So if you pray, you can check YouTube channel like where you are connecting from today. You can check all our social media platforms. If you did not check me, of course, if you did not check the company, you can check me at Olaton Jeremiah, or you check the company at Wittyview Properties. You'll be able to see a lot of information that we have churned out from the previous weeks. So today we are dealing with a more important topic: real estate investment trust. That is the topic we are dealing with today: real estate investment trust. And the beauty of this is we want to see how real estate investment trusts really work in Nigeria. So before we get started, let's allow more people to join. So if you're joining me, wherever you're joining me from, drop a comment in the chat box. Drop a comment in the chat box. Yes, drop a comment in the chat box. I'll be waiting to see your comments. Yes, I'll be waiting to see your comment in the chat box. Drop your comments. Tell us your name and where you are joining from. Tell us your name and where you are joining from. Yeah, I want to meet you. Let me see who is in the comment box. I will share the link. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Yes, wherever you are joining from, I want to meet you and to get to know you. Okay, please in the comment. Yeah, don't mind that we're using StreamYard. So intentionally, we have to use this. Awesome, awesome. So we have people joining. Good to have you here. Thank you for being a part of this live broadcast today. And here we are learning on real estate investment trust. So we call it REITS 101. So if you are just getting to hear about this topic for the first time, you are not alone. There are so many people who don't know that there is what we call real estate investment trust. So don't begin to bite yourself that you are not familiar with the topic we are dealing with today. Don't worry, at the end of this broadcast, you are going to get to understand how trust work anywhere and everywhere in the world. So it's not only in Nigeria. So as to say that this training is not limited to Nigerians. If you're outside Nigeria, you are most welcome. So you can do this class, you can watch, listen, however you are getting to know this class. Okay, so we're going to start in few seconds. property. So you have the ability to indirectly and as the share. Let's look at the disadvantage. Fees and expenses. REITs often charge management fees. So people are who are trusting your money into their hands often charge management fee and other expenses maybe, which can reduce your overall returns. So this is one of the reasons why if you are investing in REIT, you have to really ask a lot of questions. Ask a lot of questions so that you don't get to lose or return your dividend at the end of the day. If you have questions, please drop it in the comment box. I will be willing to answer. I'd like to move to the next thing, but then let me see if there are questions. Ladies and gentlemen, let me announce to you, for me as an individual, I run a company with View Properties Limited. Yes, we are into sales of land, majorly residential land, commercial land. So if you're interested, you've been here since 2013. I've been in real estate since 2013, and I started our company 2 years ago. So if you're interested, I've been here. Trust is to sell. I have customers from different parts of the world, not only limited to Nigeria, limited to Africa. Wherever you are, you can actually reach out to me, help you get your land. Yes, we also have our own we sell. We have estates where we develop. We have in different locations within Lagos, outside Lagos. Interested and always a message. You don't have to know me. Someday we have done. So you don't have to know me. Wherever you are, you can always rely on ability, my expertise in this industry for 11 years, and I'm going to attend to you as a customer and maybe the family. So let's look at how to evaluate and analyze rates for sound investment, for better investment. So when you are evaluating and analyzing any rate for any investment whatsoever, it is important that you consider some factors, and I'm going to be sharing with you some of those factors. So this session will help you to make your decision when choosing any of the types of real estate investment trusts I've shared with you so far. Okay, great. Let's shoot. Now, the first one is that it comes with our son. The first one is property portfolio. So you have to examine the real estate investment trust property portfolio to understand the types of property it owns and maybe their location too. Very important. Like I shared, you have to know, need to know the type of real estate investment trust you want to put your money into. So once you know, then do, and of course, how do you know? Once you have to do, you have to examine such property portfolio very well so that you can understand how it works, whether you have to own it or to just be um, uh, an investor or simply an investor in property. So you evaluate the quality of that too. Yes, if it is a residential or a property is, you also need to look at the occupancy rate, especially in the environment, the potential of the property, how is developing place in the environment. And we also have to consider the property types that align with the current market trends and even have strong demand for prospects who are interested in renting such property or getting the property. So before you put your money into it, you have to consider all of these things. This property portfolio, look at the potential the property has, both the property and the environment where it is lying or staying, or where the property is. The second one is financial performance. Now, here you have to review this real estate investment trust financial statement. Yes, including the revenue, the net operating income, funds from operations, and maybe earning per share. All these things you have to look at because it is your hard-earned money. So you cannot just drop the money. People should ask questions. So ask questions. If you don't know the questions to ask, go online and type likely questions you need to ask when investing in real estate investment trust. So once you type such question, I mean such a request or a query, you get responses, and you can take those responses and then begin to ask your real estate investment trust managers. So you look for consistent growth in this regard. Look for consistent growth in this, the metrics over time. Analyze the REITs leverage ratio, the debt level, and even interest coverage ratio to assess the financial health and ability to manage debt. Manage debt, very, very important. The money that you are investing, you are dropping for the organization, for the REITs managers to use, is actually a debt to them. So they have the capacity to manage debt. So if they do not, or if the property they are investing to will not cater for the debt, then I don't think you should go ahead with it. Third one is it comes, the dividend yield and distribution history. When I was sharing with you the other time that you can lose your capital. Now, this is one of the things you have to do so that you don't get to lose your capital. This is one of the things to do. The dividend yields over time and how they are consistent with payment. So access to REITs dividend yield, which is the annual dividend payment divided by the stock price. Now, this you have to look at before you commit your money into it. And you know what? A higher dividend yield can indicate a potentially attractive income stream. So you have to review this distribution history and consistency in paying these dividends before you begin to invest into it. So you look for a track record of regular and even sustainable dividends payment before you settle for it. Another evaluation and the analysis you need to do is management team and track record. This is, for me, the most important. The most important. So you have to evaluate the experience and expertise of the REITs management team. So you assess their track record in managing properties, acquiring assets, and even creating value for shareholders. So you research their reputation and even overall corporate governance practices of the real estate investment trust they are pushing out there. You need to look at all these things. Like I said, these things are not difficult. All you just have to do is ask questions. If you don't know where to ask the question, go online. If you cannot ask Google, go on ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT. It will give you answers or questions you need to ask your real estate investment trust management team. Then another analysis you need to do is check the occupancy rates and the lease terms. Now, because it is majorly a properties that people rent or lease or get to use and then pay over the time, then you have to look at the rate of occupancy. Maybe if the property is new, you can look at the rate of occupancy of properties in the environment. So you have to analyze this the occupancy rate and even the lease terms, what the terms they are giving to those who are leasing the properties. And you, of course, you higher occupancy, the higher the occupancy rate, the higher the demand for properties in the environment. So while you If you must earn more from your real estate investment, then you need to look at how would the potential the property holds before you consider it. Another thing is look at consider the market and industry analysis. So you have to conduct a thorough research. Yeah, I've been talking about this. Don't just drop your money and conduct a thorough analysis of the real estate market and the specific industry or sector in which the REITs operate. Evaluate the supply and the demand, like I said earlier. And look at the supply and the demand dynamics, very important. The rental rate trends, the competition around, understand the economic factors that may impact the performance of the properties. An example is population growth, employment rates, and even infrastructure development. These are things you have to consider. These are things you have to consider. Another thing is regulatory and legal considerations. Now, here you must understand the regulatory and legal environment that may affect the real estate investment trust operation. Very, very important. Now, research the laws guiding people. Every state you get to, they have their own law, especially they have their own law, building, permit and all of that, environmental regulations, and any pending litigation or dispute that may impact the REIT property, especially if you're investing. Yeah, it's one of those things. Now let's look at another one. Risk assessment. Now here you must evaluate the risk associated with real estate investment strategy, real estate investment trust strategy, property types, and even the geographic location. Consider factors such as interest rate risk, economic downturns, tenant defaults, and even potential disruptions to specific industry sector. Look at the risk assessment, also important, and valuation. I think I'm going to stop here, or maybe let me see. Okay, let me add more valuation. Let's look at the valuation. You need to access the valuation of the real estate investment stock compared to its peers and the overall market. Consider metrics such as price to earning ratio, price to ratio, and net value per share. Some of these things are it sound too ambiguous, but the truth is this: once you start engaging effort, these questions will begin to pop up. You wouldn't even know that you are actually asking questions based on what I'm sharing with you. And lastly, diversification. The diversification benefit that it can to your investment portfolio. Evaluate the REIT properties and investment. Ensure it correlates with other assets that you hold. So diversification can help you mitigate risk and even reduce exposure to specific sectors or geographical regions. Very important. Diversification. Like I said when I started, that real estate investment trust, one of the beautiful advantages of it is the ability to diversify in and even professionally. However, it's important I say this: conduct thorough due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. Consider consulting with a financial advisor if you needed, or a real estate professional if needed, who will guide you, who will give you personalized advice on your specific financial goals and even risk tolerance. Now, look at it. Don't just invest in real estate investment trusts. You have a financial goal in mind. You have an amount you want to be earning. You have an and you know how long the period between when the last income came to your hands and the next income. So when you know all of these things, you'll be able to know the investment, real estate investment trust you want to put your money into. Now let's look at some example, or maybe look at example like the most successful investors in the United States. They acquired a large expanse of land in South Carolina and even transformed them into master plan communities generating significant wealth over time. Now, this is one of the things that we also do at Wittyville Properties, where we buy land in large expanse and then we sell in plots or in pieces and make more money from it. So you can, of course, partner with companies like ours to buy some of this land. We sell, and then once we sell, we share profit as agreed. Okay. Now, another thing or an example to look at is real estate crowdfunding. Like I said earlier, we can collaborate, we can partner together to buy some of these properties, and then we share the profit. Yes, another one you can begin to do also is house flipping. You identify property at its dilapidated state, you acquire it, renovate it, and then resell higher. Once you do that, you move to the next property. That's what we call property uh, flipping or house flipping. Now, real estate performance, I mean, real estate investment performance. Now, for this, I have to say here that real estate investment trusts have delivered positive returns and consistent dividend income for investors. Yes, it has consistently delivered consistent dividend income for people who are choosing it. So some REITs have they have outperformed the broader stock market. For me, when people say that real estate make them wealthy, they don't actually lie, because that is the source most people who are wealthy around the world get their money from. Okay, I mean that's real estate gives most of them this wealth that they desire or they want. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have questions, drop it in the comment box. That was, oh, thank you, Sharon, for joining. Awesome, awesome. So if you have questions, do well to drop it in the comment box and I'll be willing to answer your questions. So even if you are watching this replay, you can of course drop your questions in the chat box. When I see it, or when any of the team members see it, we will respond accordingly. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have to come to the end of this class today. Before I go, let me make you see, an announcement again. If you need the material we have used today, you can have access to it. Simply send me or send a DM, send a private message, or even drop it in the comments or in the chat box. We will see it and then we'll reach out to you. We have a newsletter I want to invite you to subscribe to. We call it Everyone Owns Real Estate. Yes, everyone owns real estate. We're also going to drop the link in the chat box or in the description thing so that you can have access to it. Subscribe, we share real estate, education with people. So whether you are interested for the first time or you have been in the industry for a while, we share relevant information with you. You can learn from and even begin to act on. Everyone owns real estate. We believe strongly also that everyone can actually be in the real estate industry. So it doesn't matter your level of income, what you earn on a monthly or quarterly or on a yearly basis, you can actually play the real estate sector. Just like I've shared earlier in this class today, there are real estate investment platforms that you can begin to put your money into. Now, why I will not be bold enough to mention any company's name, I will encourage you that if you're interested in any of the real estate investment trusts I've shared with you today, simply send a direct message. Like I said, it is a trust-based business. So we don't just recommend something or we don't just sell something. We have to be sure that it can deliver the results that you desire. I hope today you have gotten enough value from the class and you are also going to leverage on the information to take massive action and build wealth. Because with real estate, you can actually create massive wealth for yourself. Thank you for being a part of this. I will see you again in the comment section or in another class.